Hey, good morning, you guys. It is a beautiful Monday out here in Ruskin, Florida. So, an update to what has been happening over the past, I want to say, 10 to 12 days after the storm. I did get stuck at the Harborage Marina. I say stuck because the engine was not working, and after we got her fixed, I ran into another couple of issues that I had to resolve, but I did end up doing that after I moved her over here. Between the engine issues, buying the radar, I didn't get to install it. They didn't send me the mount for the mast, and I ended up leaving that marina, Lighthouse Point Marina, the first one we were in. Between that, the hospital, Harborage Marina, this marina, and the other fees, it's taken a good chunk out of my emergency fund, close to $7,000. And if I want to continue this lifestyle, I have to go back to work. Dun 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 dun. So right now I'm door dashing full time. It's not ideal, but it does get the bills paid. It does keep the income coming in so that we're not hemorrhaging money. You know what they say about these boats, man, buzz out another 1,000. I had to get help with not because it took about 4.5 hours of my time and I wasn't able to get it tightened, and I did call for help on that one. That one cost me like $1,000 for a single nut. That was expensive. But aside from that, you guys, this is what life is now because this is what I wanted. I wanted a boat and all of the challenges and adversity that comes with it, and that is what that is what I am currently facing. That's the stage that I'm in right now. But I can't complain. I mean, I do have a yacht, and you know what, guys? By the way, they measured her. They did some fancy laser whatever, so they can price out the slip correctly. 39.5 feet. She is definitely not 35. She's a 39.5 footer. I don't have anything hanging off the back, and my bowsprit is like maybe 10 inches. It's maybe a foot. I'll go measure it. But yeah, no, from end to end, she's 39.5 feet. That's cool. But now comes the hard part of maintaining the lifestyle and sailing while doing so. I'll keep you guys updated. In the meantime, here's the footage from when we moved the boat over here. I did get Boat US's help to get it done because the engine was not working correctly then. She is now. We'll go ahead and turn around when it gets to high tide so she's not too far in the mud and doesn't get anything in the raw water intake system. Other than that, you guys, enjoy the footage. Yep. So we're here. We're finally getting towed out of the Harborage Marina. Boy, was that was quite an expensive stay. We're gonna have to, between the engine, the pieces, finding a new marina, like a new slip, and arranging this tow, as well as the other marina that is exhausting my emergency fund. This entire thing was like $7,000, man. This was a little rough as far as expenditures goes. So what I have to do in order to keep this stream alive is I have to keep income coming in. So what that means for me is that if I want to keep this boat, I'm actually going to have to find a job. Right now, I am door dashing to keep that income coming in so I can get these bills, so that these bills don't drown me, you know, so that I don't get broke. I guess this is part of boat life. You know, what'll end up having to happen is more than likely I'll end up getting another job, like a regular office job, but I'll still be living on my boat. I wanted this boat. That was the whole point, was to have a boat and to go on an adventure. Now, the beginning of this is not starting off the way that I wanted it to. You know, I'll be completely honest. This is not how I envisioned it going. But we're rolling with the punches, you guys. The only thing we can do is keep pressing forward. Keep moving forward. We can't sit down and wallow in any negative self-talk. We have goals to meet, so we will. And although my boat is being towed right now because the engine's still acting up, we're gonna get that squared away. Really and truly, what was pressing me was getting out of this marina, the harborage. That's pricey, guys. It's super pricey. I'm glad to be out of there into my next home, which I did sign a lease on that slip, so I'll be there for a minute. But hey, you do what you got to do, you know? And I figured that what would be best for me is probably to learn more, take her out for more overnights and keep going further and further with the trips that I take on her. That's okay, guys. We will get to Annapolis. You know, occasionally, every now and then I think how different things would have been if I had stayed at my previous job. I wouldn't be out here on the ocean. I wouldn't be experiencing these highs and lows. I wouldn't be on my boat. I wouldn't be doing any of these things. And you know, I have my doubts. We all have our moments of weakness, and boy, let me tell you, I did not expect to have to get a job this fast. But yeah, no, this boat life is kind of expensive. Way more expensive than I actually thought it was. I planned out for a year. And if I keep going at this rate of expenditure, it won't last. It definitely won't last a year, guys. I'm scared. But hey, you know, you do what you can with what you got. And we all put ourselves in situations. This is the one that I'm in. I wanted my boat. Now, the downside to the marina that I'm going to, Shell Point Marina, is that it's got skinny water. It's going to be a lot like Lighthouse Bay was, in terms of I can take the boat out, but I have to take it out at high tide. Once I'm out, it's fine. But therein lies the problem, because tides come and go. So what I'll have to do in order to take the boat out is I have to go out on overnights. There's no way around it. I have to go out on an overnight, take the boat out, go cruise into the bay, do what we want to do. And if I want to come back, it's going to be the next day. Because by the time I'm out in the bay, by the time I get to the bridge, the Skyway Bridge from the marina that I'm going to be at, the tide will be out. It'll be gone. So this transfer that we're doing is a dock-to-dock transfer with Boat US. Sponsored by Geico. I'm lying. We're not sponsored by Geico. I'm not sponsored by Geico. I had to pay for this. Yay. But yeah, no, you know, they've been a great help, because it's been rough getting stuck at that marina. And I guess what's rougher for me is that I'm not a diesel mechanic yet. I'm like a newbie. I can do things. I can change a filter. I can unscrew things and screw them back together. and I'm learning about how the engine works. But ultimately, you know, I struggled for 4.5 hours for the stuffing box, y'all. 4.5 hours on a stuffing box. Yeah, I know there's people out there that can do that in 10, 20 minutes. Don't look at those unsecured tanks. We are almost across the bay. We should be getting there in about 30-ish minutes or so. We're almost there. We've been making good time. He's been pulling us along at about 6 knots. Maybe 4. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, give the dock a call. Let them know you're about 10 minutes out. You can get a hand down here. All right, just pay attention. Stay right behind.
Oh yeah, this marina is going to be tricky to get in and out of. truth they don't tell you about boat life, because I don't have a washer and dryer on the boat, so I have to come onto land to wash my clothes and dry them, unless I'm out of the marina, and then I can use my little wash bag and dump the water, you know, but it does get a bit tricky. This is my new reality, you guys. Got some neighbors over there. Misbehavior is over there. She is this one right here. There's a storm approaching. Another thunderstorm. It's just thunderstorm after thunderstorm. You know, it was a challenge finding a marina that allowed little boards. There's so very little nowadays. Technically, the one that I was in the first time was not little board friendly, although they let me stay on the boat. Yeah, that was a challenge, but I did manage to find this marina, Shell Point Marina, and this is the reality of the situation, guys. The bills are mounting up, so I had to dock misbehavior and sadly go back to work. You know, doing what I have to do to get these bills paid. Ooh. You know, this little incident with the engine dying, putting her in the other marina, going to the hospital, fixing the engine, getting the stuffing box adjusted, that all was expensive. It was starting to eat into my emergency fund, and if, you know, those expenditures continued, there would not be any emergency fund left, and that would be bad. That would be worse than what we're in now. So, I'm going to be here at Shell Point Marina for a while, making sure that the boat keeps getting upgraded little by little. I'm also going to be making sure that her slip fees get paid, and, you know, my other bills get paid as well. So much for retirement, right? Technically, this is my new home. This is a little clubhouse. We have some lounges and foosball over there, facing the sunset. Got some pool. Oh, nice little table with floating compass thing. I like it. The only downside with this marina is that the water out there at regular depth, she is about 3 to 3.5 feet, so that means I need a high tide of about 2 to 2.5, closer to 2.5, to be able to get her out without grounding. You know, it can be done, because she did get into the slip without grounding, so I do know the route now. But it has to be during high tide, and the negative is that if I go out on for example, if I go out on a Saturday, I'm gonna have to come back on a Sunday on the next tide. Tide isn't forever, guys. I don't know the thunderstorm coming out tonight. She's creeping her way up. Oh, let me show y'all my new bathroom. Welcome to Jurassic Bathroom. Yeah, that's the head. Yeah, that's my shower. There is this cool guinea pig enclosure. Look, we have a little tortoise friend. Shares it with guinea pigs. So this is what the adventure begins with. Now that I have a boat, it is a beautiful day. Behind the camera, there's a thunderstorm creeping in, and I'm gonna go out and work for a little while. Yeah, these bills have to get paid after all, and if I keep draining the emergency fund, I will be broke, and no one wants to be broke. On another note, Ruskin is pretty beautiful. Yeah. Uh, During my day, I'll be searching for a full-time position and applying to other ones. I want to be a beacon of hope, like a star in the night. Not so much star in fame, but star in the sense of providing a light for those who have none. I've been in way worse situations, guys. I've had a very colorful past. Very colorful. I realized that in order to be that star, I might just have to burn.